Hello, the Farm Geek here. It's spring at Crossroads Valley Farm, and it's maple syrup season. We have a Cinderblock maple syrup evaporator. I'll show you how I built it. Well, instead of buying an expensive maple syrup evaporator or trying to do it over a propane stove, which takes a lot of energy and a lot of heat, a lot of money as well, I built behind me here is a Cinderblock maple syrup evaporator. I found this on the internet and I thought I'd give it a go. So basically what I have is I have a couple rows of cinder blocks with some buffet pans suspended between and a chimney behind. So and I've done some tweaking, of course, being the Farm Geek, but I'll get behind the camera and show you some of the details of what I got here. This is just my alpha or my trial version. I kind of want to fine tune it and kind of get it all working the way I want it to work. And then I'll probably install it in a sugar shack properly. But for now it's just kind of thrown together to see how it works. And like I said, I'll probably put some mortar and make it more effective in the future. All right. Okay, so a little more information on this evaporator. As I mentioned, I have 2 rows of cinder blocks, and the cinder blocks are about 3 high. And I had some extra fire brick kicking around the yard here, so I actually lined the inside with fire brick to give good insulation for the fire to keep it nice and hot, as well as protect the cinder blocks from the heat. Because if the cinder blocks get too hot, they'll actually break down, and you'll pretty much have to replace them every year, depending on how many fires you have. And then the gap between the cinder blocks and the fire bricks is big enough to hang these buffet pans between. And what I also did was I created this angle iron kind of little holder, which I'll show you in a bit, that holds the pans. And that allows the pans to be more sturdy and not fall down and hopefully dump any maple syrup into the fire, as well as makes it easier to move them around. So I just kind of did that as an extra. And then basically what happens is that the air comes through the top, and you stick your flue. I have an old flue that I stuck in the back, and again, I'll show you how I did it on mine, but you can just figure it out however you want to figure it out, and you'll see some sources online. Here's a good picture of the holder without the buffet pans in. Basically just some angle iron with some on the outside with some pieces across that basically just size such that they fall right in there and hold them in there. I like it because the angle iron gives a little more, lip per se for it to sit on the bricks, and the buffet pans won't fall in. As well as it keeps it a little more sturdy and easier to work with when you're actually moving pans around. And then in there you can see how I did the hole for the flue. Again, just do whatever you think you can do. In my case, I'll probably end up cutting a few bricks and making it a little more tighter, a little more air resistant with some mortar and stuff when I actually finalize it, but overall that's how it'll be. And then again, the front door here right now, I just have some bricks that I'm moving around inside and a piece across the top. But I'll probably get more of a steel door in a way of actually letting airflow in the bottom and having the right amount of airflow. So again, to reduce smoke and keep a nice hot fire in there. So overall, pretty straightforward. And again, that flue probably could be a little bit higher, but for now, it's good enough. Okay, so here she is actually roiling. I got a really good fire going. You can see the back pan is really boiling up there good, kind of what I expected, but I pushed the fire back in the firebox to help get the nice draft going and the heat going. So I have the back pan, which is the hot one with the 2 handles I can remove. And then I got the middle pan, which is warmer, and the front pan, which is kind of the warmer. So what I do is I take the sap from the buckets, I put it in the front pan to heat up, move to the middle pan, to the back pan to actually somewhat finish. I don't let the back pan totally finish. Once it gets to a certain color, I'll bring it out and actually finish on my propane stove. You can see my daughter and my dog over there playing in the pool. So I know it's working pretty good so far. I'm sure I'm going to tweak a bit, but make sure the pans are full of sap, otherwise they will warp. That is important, especially when you're first starting off. So, but I'm very happy with the results and got a good fire going here, and we'll see how she works. So I apologize for the video here, but it's hard to see because of all the smoke. But you can see how the back pan is really blowing out well and getting a little darker. Looking a little more like, well, not like maple syrup, but getting close. And that's all I basically do here is I take my pan, and I dip into here, and then I move to the next pan, and from this pan, I dump it in here. And I always want to make sure I keep this back pan here nice and full, because it'll boil down really quickly as it gets thicker and thicker and thicker, and I don't want to warp those pans and wreck everything. But so far she's working really good, and not a lot of wood, so I'm pretty happy with that. If you have a good seal and good fire brick and good airflow, you don't need as much wood as I thought we were going to use. So, but we'll see how it goes. So there you have it. It's rolling behind me, working like a hot damn. I'm immensely happy with it. The first time I've actually had it running, and she's blowing down really good. For the amount of wood I've used, very little wood, and it's working really well. So I'm happy. It cost me about 250 bucks Canadian to build it with the cinder blocks and the welding and all the pans and everything, but fairly inexpensive and pretty good operation. You got to watch it, but I got my pail of water there and I got my poker. Good to go. Love it.